Just give me a minute to get everything set up, bro. Young Yellow Gang, we back with another banger. It's another banger, bro. And we got Hakeem in the building to mess with us again. Hey, get him on. Tell him the young girl alive, man. We in the building, bro. This class about to be lit. Hakeem, no. This for her class about to be lit, bro. About to get into it. Hey, Robot. To everybody that's coming in the building, man. About to get ready to go in on the city of Atlantis. Hakeem, get down. He back again, y'all. Every time I start the class, he come right in on me. Close that door. Close that door. Hey, if you just tuning in, man, this class about to be lit. Like, give me a minute to look. Give me a second to load the chat up. Let me load the chat, man. We're gonna get lit. This right here gonna tie a whole bunch of other stuff in together for the people who just not getting on to the information. It's gonna tie some more because everybody want to know, like, you know, how does this Atlantis tie in with everything else? So we're gonna give you our perspective on it. You can take that and run with it. You feel me? You can take that and run with it, bro. We got 45 people in the chat. Hey, look. Okay, I got the chat loaded up. We lit, man. We live. About to get started. Shout out to brother Sun Rock in the building. Hey, you gonna like this one right here, Sun Rock? Because there's gonna be another part to it. You know what I'm saying? To what's happening here with us. This one right here, fire. Because we're gonna be talking about the things that Tahuti was doing. And keep in mind, Atlantis. Let me pull up this this picture while I'm talking. See, it's people out here. They talking about this stuff, and some of those people was there, so they memory is coming back, and they starting to talk about certain things and put it together. So with all of us giving our perspective, we'll be able to put it together, the big picture. Because the young L be dropping it, bro. Okay. Keep in mind, Atlantis was it wasn't called Atlantis before. It became known as Atlantis later, but it was at first it was a ship. Atlantis was a ship that we designed as a laboratory. And what we did is we was thinking about before we left Pegasus later on down the line, we was thinking about taking all the insects out. And so what we did is we went and collected the DNA from all these insects in the Pegasus galaxy. So the first Atlantis goes back like 90-something billion years, a little bit over 90 billion years, where we was collecting all the different DNAs, like whether from plants, from insects, from different types of fruit trees. We even did crossbreeding to make other fruits on Atlantis, right? We did it like say we might crossbred like a peach and an orange, right? So it was crossbreeding these different. So a lot of fruits you got are crossbreeds of new types of species that we designed in the laboratory in Atlantis, right? Because Atlantis come about after the tectonic plate shift, right? So a certain amount of years, thousands of years ago, the plate the one that we put, the Atlantis that we set up here. But it goes back to us. The original Atlantis goes back to us collecting all the data and DNA from different species in the galaxy and other galaxies, so that we can repopulate different planets. That's what the original mission was. It was, if a planet got destroyed, or if a planet, if the species would extinct on that planet or something of that nature. We also set up natural selection. We'll get into that too. Adaptation, where plants, they over time, like at first the rose didn't have spikes on it, but over time of it being attacked or taken advantage of, it developed a defense mechanism, which would be the spikes, or the poisonous plants, what they call the plant moth. These beings that developed a defense mechanism to keep their survival going. That's what it's about, right? Hey, Rob, out to everybody that's in the building. We're gonna post that Cash App in the link if you want to show your brother some love and send us a donation. We got that lined out for you right there in the link. Let me Akeem, you back on me again, ain't you? What? Create a code. What the hell? Hold on just a second. Yeah, hey man, if you just come in the building, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, man. Hit that bell. Hit that Cash App button, man. Is it putting it in there? Okay, it's in there. Yeah, Atlantis is a new Atlantis. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you. Yeah. So this the Atlantis that was on Earth. That's the new Atlantis, right? And Atlanta it got a frequency going. Atlanta and Atlantic City is connected to this platform that we had in the middle of Atlantic Ocean, right? Anything that's been touched by the Atlantic Ocean is part of this sequence, you know. But what we're talking about is that this was a laboratory that we collected data from millions and millions of different species, whether it be from plant, insect, animal, like mammal type creatures and nomos type creatures, reptilians. We had all the DNA on this laboratory to where we can reanimate, because everything is light. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into that on the light being tape, but we can reanimate any kind of creature or fruits or anything that we wanted to repopulate a planet after devastation came. So this new Atlantis that you see in the picture right here, this was the one that Tahuti designed, the new laboratory that Tahuti designed. And what happens is it was a tectonic plate shift to take you up a couple notches. What happens is it was a tectonic plate shift here, because people say all the lands were one. If you take all the lands and put them back together, you'll see they line up like a puzzle, and it's like missing that one piece in the middle. That one piece is the part that they sunk, that these reptilians sunk. It was a landing pad. The power, it was the power source that we was drawing from the planet to charge this ship up with the magnetic grid, because there's a magnetic grid on your planet, and we utilize that energy to charge up our mothership fleet called Atlantis. And it was more than one of these ships dispatched. You're talking about thousands of these ships already were manufactured to go to other planets to repopulate them, or to start terraforming planets. And not only that, to educate the species on that planet. And so it was a laboratory. Hey, Hakeem, bag up. So it was a laboratory, right? And so at one point, your continents were all one piece, and then they split. And when they split, a lot of species went extinct or got destroyed, or some species evoluted from adaptation, and so that was like the first part of it. So we came here, and Tahuti felt bad because, and keep in mind, Tahuti is another reincarnation who volunteered to come here, who is really Murdoch, who is really Yanun, right? A 7-dimensional being who decided to come down to Earth, and because of the crash, he felt bad about the crash. The crash was an accident, so he took a hands-on approach. Tahuti took a hands-on approach to the planet Earth to repopulate it, to get it going, to get it, to speed the vibration of the planet back up after the crash, because the vibration of the planet slowed down when the crash happened. So we came here, we landed on that pad that was in the middle of Atlantis, right? This island about the size of the actual ship, the Atlantis ship is the size of Manhattan, but the platform that we was landing on was about the size of let's say it was a big old island. It was like an actual continent in the middle of the ocean, right? Surrounded by water. And so we landed there, and we started engineering different species and crossbreeding different species to repopulate the Earth, right? And it was 32 scientists, including Tahuti, under this project. And then, but we had many workers working on the ship. We had hundreds thousands of workers working on the ship and working on the project. But it was the main scientists. It was 32 scientists that was working on this project. Where eventually, bring that back, Hakeem. Where eventually, the reptilians, they didn't want the people of Earth to be advanced because they won't be able to use them as a food source no more. So this by us coming here, the T's, and we'll break that down too, and setting up this school. Really, Atlantis was a school too. It was a library. It was a library of data, a data bank for all of the species, right? So we can re-engineer these species, clone them, and put them back on the Earth if anything ever happened. But the reptilians, being that we was here teaching humans different technologies in Atlantis, the reptilians got mad because they was eating these people, and so they wanted to come here and stop us from advancing the planet, because they wanted to keep the planet as a farm planet. Because they have really certain species of reptilian have rightful heir to the planet, like the Dragonians through Enki and Enki's mother now. So they wanted to keep the planet as a herding ground, a food source, keep coming eating these people. And so by us coming here with Tahuti, the 32 scientists, they got mad that we was teaching the planet and evoluting the planet. And so they attacked us. And they sunk the actual landing pad, and it caused another, they use these certain type of bombs, and it caused another tectonic plate shift. And Atlantis got destroyed, but the actual ship, it had a force field around it. Let me show you. All right, so that's the force field. And they refer to us as the ancient ones. Say Tahuti is referred to as the Ancient of Days, as in Melchizedek, right? In the scripture, they refer to him as the angel Michael, and the Ancient of Days. Once, so they refer to him as that. But they attacked the ship. They sunk the landing pad, the power source, and we already had set up pyramids. We were building crystal pyramids, and they still underwater right now. The government already found them down in the Bermuda Triangle area, a little bit outside of that, in one of those corners. We already got these. We had these pyramids that were crystal pyramids, and some of y'all, like your brother Neb Haru, he made crystal pyramids. Some of y'all are making those crystal pyramids, right? But these were a certain type of energy. These crystal pyramids that we had created. So Atlantis was not only like a laboratory to repopulate the planet with the different DNAs, it was also a development center to develop new technology. So we was developing we was doing a lot of experiments. We was developing new technology. right? And some of this technology already was already here going back before the calamities, the helicopter, all that due to Enki. Keep in mind, Tahuti is Enki's son, is Murdoch incarnating as Tahuti, which comes down from the seventh dimension, which is thought. We'll get into that part too. We'll break that down. And it was two different Murdochs. It was two different Tahutis, right? One Tahuti was Enlil's son, and the other Tahuti, which is our Tahuti, was Enki's son. And they the ones that set up Atlantis because they always Enki and Enki's people always got a soft spot for this planet because they originate from this planet. This is their home. This is his home, really. You know what I'm saying? This is his family planet. So he got a soft spot. Yeah, the Crystal Pyramid. It's the Crystal Pyramid in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Yeah, right. So they might, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I know the crystal, they already went down in that particular part of the water and found these crystal pyramids. That Tahuti is the architect of the pyramids. Because like at first we were doing ziggurats, that's during the ancient Sumerian time, and then as we come up to speed, we started making more pyramids. And Tahuti was one of the first engineers to start making the pyramids. So it's pyramids all over Earth, but some of the oldest ones is down there in Atlantis. And this was also something to try to realign Earth. Tahuti was trying to realign Earth and put it back to its rightful tilt before the reptilians attacked us. We were designing a whole bunch of technology at Atlantis. But eventually they end up sinking the landing pad, right? And they like to show you all these, when they show you Atlantis, they want to show you all these like our children, like the Greeks, and not even the original Greeks. They showing you Romans, like not even the original Romans, because they were Moors. So they show you like the Caucasian people when they try to show you Atlantis. Like these people weren't even around then, man. You see what I'm saying? These people weren't even around then during this time. So yeah, the reptilians end up sinking the landing pad. So some of us, a lot of people didn't make it, but a lot of us escaped on a ship, on Tahuti's ship. And we relocated into ancient Kemet, and that's when we started to build the pyramids over there. Keep in mind, Khufu and them just renovated the pyramids. We set the oldest structure that's even older than Imhotep's pyramid, stepstone pyramid, is the Sphinx. Because the Sphinx was there prior to I believe the Sphinx was built by the Anunnakis because it was part of the same connection with the face on Mars. And it was when people was coming here, it was like a landmark to let them know that, hey, the project was done, and that these people are project of this Adam project that took place on Mars. So I believe the Sphinx is older than, it's like the oldest thing in ancient Kemet, man. The Sphinx. Because it had to be the older or built around the same time when we went over there, right? When we went over there to ancient Kemet. Because so now what we did is, before we left Atlantis, before it got sunk by the reptilians, we collected all the data. We collected a lot of data and brought it on to the ship that we were going to escape in. A lot of the books that Tahuti was writing, Tahuti wrote a lot of books. And he wrote a lot of books in his life, right? 4,000, 5,000 books. But Tahuti back then wrote a lot of books, right? And it was all on ancient technology. And keep in mind, during this same time of Atlantis, I kind of sped up talking about us leaving. Before we left, Tahuti used to go to the center of the earth and keep it, he called it the halls of Amenti, right? And down there, it's a supercomputer called a supercomputer Mech that was built billions of years ago by another group of beings who's in the same family called the pinnacle. The computer was called Mech, right? Where the Fugal Lords were working on these computers, and one of them came to the surface and copied, made a smaller version of the center computer and called it Macintosh, and that's Bill Gates. He's a frugaloid. That's how he made that. That's how he was able to develop the computer, because it was all, he took the idea from the computer that's in the center of the earth called MEC. And we break that down. We break that computer down on Galactic Family of Life Part 15. When we talk about the pinnacle, we break that computer down, how it works, how big it is. Hey, I'll be doing it. Hey, bring me some water, Hakeem. So that's one part of it. So to who he was going down there using the computer and getting different things out of the computer, and also adding his own conclusion and data to the computer, the supercomputer. And also he was visiting a temple. It's a 6-pointed temple down there, like a 6-pointed star in Shambhala, where these beings are trapped, where these fourth dimensional beings, where we trap Halon in them at. It's what they call a hell, right? We trapped Halon in them in this temple. And so the halls of Amenti include like some of the advanced cave systems that the computer system is in, and some of the temples that's in the center of the earth. That includes that whole area. And Tahuti was going down to the center of the earth, because keep in mind, man multiplied in the center of the earth before they multiplied on the surface. Now man has begun to multiply on the surface of the earth. Enki did not create the helicopter because Enlil was the prince of power. Hey man, I ain't got time, man, for people that slow. I don't know if you're trying to reach or what. Man, if you don't want to hear what we got to say, you can get off, Capstone. Because it seemed like you capped off, my brother. Enki created the helicopter, bro. And because he was stealing the gold to take it over to those Aztecs over there to hide the gold, man. The Anarchis was only, Enlil and them was only using the cylinder crafts to haul the gold back, and other small crafts like the Shams to go back and forth to Mothership Nubaru. They wasn't using the helicopters. They had no need for those instruments. But Enki did, so he had to create other types of transportation to hide and smuggle. He was a smuggler. See, you know, man, smugglers, they do use different types of crafts, man. He was a gold smuggler. Yeah, man. If you don't, I just told you. My master teacher taught us this information. And then the holy tablets, I got the links. I'm gonna put the link in the description. Go read the Gilmix Epmis. Go read the different old ancient tablets, the Sumerian tablets. Go read them. Because you're behind time if you're trying to come. I don't know if you're trying to distract me or what, but you're about to get muted. No, I'm not gonna let you in. Why would I let you in? Is he crazy? Man, I'm not gonna let this dude distract me, bro. I'm gonna mute him. I'm gonna mute this dude. There you go. Goodbye, Capstone. Nobody gonna see your messages no more. Where I get this information. Man, it's common sense when you one of us. That's what it is. This is my perspective. That's whatever. Keep your goddamn perspective. Don't try to force your damn perspective on mine. This is my perspective. Capstone, you got your own damn perspective. You don't think that Enki made it, that's your perspective, not mine. So why you trying to beat me up with yours? What type? It shows what type of being you are. Yeah, but back to what I was saying. Tahuti was going to the center of the earth, to the halls of Amenti, and he was doing studying and research and bringing some of that back to the surface. And keep in mind, Amenti, because you got the T's and you got the do re mi chart. Let me pull it up so I can show you. You got the T's. The T's is the crown chakra. because on a scale, a musical scale, you got do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. The last do don't exist. So T would be the oldest beings as far as going back to Atlantis. So that's why his name is Tahuti. Ta is like dealing with the black, dealing with the dark matter. It's dealing with hold on, this dude right here. Oh man, hold up. All right, my bad. Yeah, Capstone, you got your ass muted. We gonna boot you right off into the goddamn on space. Coming in here forcing your perspective on people. Boot your ass right off into space. Yeah, so the T's, like let me pull up this chart for you. Right, so the T's are the oldest. When you talk about the Netarus, because people they don't want to deal with the anarchy doctrine, but it all ties in together. But when you talk about the Netarus, the T's are the oldest family. The T's are the first family, the first generation. And Tahuti, Tai means like black or the. It can mean like a definite article too. It can mean dark matter. It can mean pure consciousness. And then who is the creative force and will. And then T is the older species. Hold on, let me pull it up. It's the crown chakra. T is the crown chakra. We already broke all this down in the Ascension Manual. So let me pull that up. Because it's also tie in with the chakras too, man. We might have to tie these classes in together because the light, it's the stuff that's in the light. We Are Light Beings tape that's gonna come out tomorrow. But okay. So you got Doe. You got Doe, right? Doe is the people who don't have identity, as in Jane Doe, John Doe, right? So that's a group of people that nobody know who they is, the Does. Then you got the Rays. The Rays is really like a younger family. The Rays is like, Amun Ray, Atun Ray. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got the last name Ray. As far as the new name that they took on once they found out who they were, right? They put the name Ray at the end of their name. And this is one of the musical frequencies that represent D on the musical scale. Yeah, Hakeem got to come in and drop his come out to me. Then you got the me people. These are the people that always say me, me, me. The selfish people. Me, 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 me. That's another group of a family. That's another sound, because we sound beings, we light beings. Light, sound speeds up to create light. Light speeds up to create thought. So we thought beings, we sound beings, we light beings. We are just the frequency, really, when you break it down. But the me's are another species. You got the five soul, like you got this soul. You know what I'm saying? Like people, they the soul beings. They always, you know what I'm saying? Then the la beings are the people that's la 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 la, right? They going through world without a care in the world. They don't, these people. Then you got the T's. The T's is like Tahuti, our man T. So these beings with the T at the end of their name, they are older. They they were higher vibrational beings who vibrate on the violet light, the purple light, which is the highest in this particular dimension. It's the highest frequency that you can see to. It's the purple, the violet, right? It's right, and that represents the crown chakra, right? So we knew all this. That's why Tahuti created the piano, because Tahuti knew, and he had 144 keys originally, and then they shrunk it down to 88 keys, and then they shrunk it down again. And they changed the tune and frequency of the piano down down hertz to 440 on the center A. They changed it to 440 when we had a tune to 500 megahertz, because this is dealing with the brain frequency. How your brain is a light. Your brain is light. Your brain can receive light waves, like we told you, through the pineal gland. So these are the different tribes, the 7 different tribes: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7 different tribes. And they tell you in the Bible, they say the 7 spirits of God, right? 7 spirits of God. That's what they're really talking about. They're talking about the sound, these sound frequencies. And actually it's 144 octaves, but these are the basic original sound frequencies. Like to start with. Then you can begin to combine all these frequencies, mix them together, and you get other frequencies. So Tahuti was part of the T's, the child chakra beings, coming down from thought. The thought is where your crown chakra, right? Your thought come in through your top of your head. That's why when babies are born, they have a soft spot in the middle of their head. Hold on. I gotta make sure people ain't messing on my stuff. Stop, boy. I'm telling you. Man, I'm telling you, bro, these kids. Hold on just a second, man. This dude probably, oh my God, man. Non-stop Hakeem, bro. This dude. Yeah, but let me get back to the show, man, so we can get this cracking, man. I probably just lost a couple $100 right there on Hakeem doing what he do. Man. Yeah, but okay. So you see that the different octaves, right? And this also ties in with the chakras, right? Because your chakras got different colors. A lot of this stuff we already put out already, man. You know? So, okay, all right, the chakras. And all this ties into Atlantis, because this is what we were teaching on Atlantis. And they telling you about some Hindus. You know what I'm saying? They gave out some of our stuff. The Hindus learned from us. They were fallen angels. They were demons. So the crown chakra you see is the T, and then you see the root chakra represents Do. So it'd be Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. But really that Fa, the green chakra is really represents soul. Because they mixed it up, right? The green chakra really represents soul. Yeah, Hakeem took, man, he's a hit man. And it's also different. I actually did like a meditation before I got on this show, bro. But this is the chart we show you in the Ascension Manual. That these different chakras have hand signs for the different chakras. Hold up. Hey, man, I need you to watch them for me and make sure they don't destroy nothing else. Oh, man. Hey, it's another one in there. But look, hey, I need you to watch them, man, because I think Hakeem already took me out. Hey, we back, man. This another banger though. We got to deal with the high king situation because my wife, man, she went walking just now. I was supposed to go with her, but I needed to get this class off my brain. All right, so so I just want to break that down, the do re mi chart and the different frequencies and the chakras, and it's also dealing with the one more connection with this, and we already put this out. The alkaline. Hold on. All right, so you also have the alkaline chart. We're gonna talk about this in detail on the next class. We are light beings, but I just want to show you the color reference. When you're dealing with dough, you're dealing with an acidic. Dough or the red chakra, you're dealing with acidic foods. And then as you go up the element chart to the seventh chakra, which is the heart chakra, the seventh neutral zone. Remember, I told you gotta stay on the straight and narrow. The straight and narrow is referring to staying at a 7 in your alkalinity. Then you go up to the throat chakra, crown chakra, right? So it's also connected all together with it. We knew this as the T's, right? I'm 2T, right? 2T. In that particular thing until we come down to the different incarnations. But like I say, this is all different color foods that represent those different chakras. We the sons of Tahuti. We already put a tape out a while back called The Sons of Tahuti. You might want to go check that tape out. The Sons of Tahuti. So I just want to bring that in to show you just the connection between that, the colors, frequencies, and the T's. The Tahuti being Tahuti. And then you got Amen-T, who was one of the gatekeepers before Osiris took over. He's one of the and after Osiris, you got Anubis. Anubis was one like the boatman, but Amenti was the gatekeeper of, which is why he's sitting on the same chair as Osiris prior to. See, every time you see a being sitting on that square, let me show you. Let me show you so you can get a visual of what I'm talking about. Ra is one of the oldest deities in ancient Kemet. And you see him sitting on a stool just like Imhotep. These were master masons, master builders. And he come down from the same bloodline as from Enki, when you trace it all the way down. And Enki's family were master fashioners, meaning they were builders. Enki was a great builder. He built all like the crafts that I told you about before Capstone came in hating, trying to force his perspective on mine till he got his ass booted right out of space, right? Yeah, I got my own perspective. You got yours. Perspective. What makes yours so right than mine? You know what I'm saying? Get the hell up out of here. Hey, hey, if you want to show your brother some love, I'm putting my Cash App in the link, man. We taking you out. We taking you all the way to the whole story. We're giving you a short version of it, but we really covering the stuff that you need to know to put the story, start putting it together for yourself and do your own research. Don't believe me. Don't just accept my perspective. Go check it out. Like my master teacher used to say, go start doing your research and find out. But you got to have an open mind. When you want to find out new stuff like this, you got to have an open mind. You can't have a closed mind. And because if your mind closed, you ain't gonna be able to get no information into your mind. You know what I'm saying? So you come and telling me this and that, you got a closed mind, you ain't gonna be able to, you can't be because you can't even receive new information. So how you know about this? You can't even receive the information because your mind closed. Oh, because you thinking one way and not three ways down here down here. And they the reptilians don't want you to think like that. They don't want you to multitask. They want you to be a dumb damn cattle animal so they can keep chopping you up and making sandwiches out of your ass. That's what's going on. Yeah, so for donations, we put in just put our Cash App in the link. But a mentee is also dealing is really going to the God who they say at the end of their prayers, who they worship. Amen. Amun Ray. See? And see, he's like one of the first generations of the Rays coming after Tahuti. See, Tahuti and them go back older because they the T's. Amun is a lot younger generation. Incarnation, I believe, of a new. Not a new incarnation, though I believe he's incarnation because I think that Kalun is in representation, the one that was fashioning and doing all that. See, that could connect with Inky, or it could connect with Anu, the ones that was fashioning on the wheel, right? We'll go into that later on another tape. But we're just building you up to bring you in. That he's one of the beings that existed during the time of Tahuti, and that he was like the older generation, or the oldest of that first generation of rays that came in, right? But he's also a T. That's why they call him a mentee. And then when the rays started, that's when they changed his name and put the Ray on it, the Ra, the Ray, right? But he was in charge of the gatekeeper to the underworld at one point. And that's why he's sitting on that chair, just like if you see Osiris. Let me show you. Osiris is sitting on a chair as well. Trying to find him sitting in that chair. I know it's in the yeah, see, okay, this is an example. Say that chair right there, it's a square within a square. So he's sitting on this square. All right, but that's another story. Because the tape is really talking about Atlantis. So we're bringing you in. Hey, get down. What is y'all doing? You guys to be crazy, bro. Get up out of here. Go on back in for now. Hey, there, I need you to be my security guard and get in my body here, bro. You see what they're doing. Hey, go set his thing up for him back there. Man, you guys to be kidding me, man. So yeah. So Tahuti was visiting that place, and he was coming back. He was writing different things. And one of them things that he wrote was the Emerald Tablets, which had different magical things in there, and it had the codes to unlock Halon and them from that temple that was down there in Shambhala, Minty, at one point that it was called, right? He had wrote down the codes to unlock those people, or those reptilians of different species that were locked down into the fourth dimension in that temple in Shambhala. So he wrote all this down in tablets, the Emerald Tablet. The one you're reading online is not the original. That's the one that they just gave you what they wanted you to know out of it, right? The real one, the Hellfire Council was looking for it. That's why they put all those movies out about Indiana Jones. He was one of the beings that was like one of the explorers that was finding all these ancient artifacts over in Babylon. That's really what they was over there for. It wasn't about no oil, really. They was over there looking for ancient artifacts. They went to ancient Kemet looking for artifacts. And some people, the people that really know, like the Hellfire Council, they were looking for certain things like the Emerald Tablets. So they can bring all four pieces, but I ended up breaking all 4 pieces of it and scattering it and doing a magic spell on it to cast it to the 4 corners of the earth. And so they went looking for it, and they found all the pieces. And that's when they started in 1966. When they found the last piece, that's when they started releasing some of those demons to come back. Really, in 1953, they was doing the experiment to do it. In 1944, 1953, and then in 1966, that's when they released a whole bunch of other demons from the pits from that dimension to bring them down so they can get physical cause. And one of those beings was the being named Damien, who they said that was the devil's son. They made a movie about it called Armin 666. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still, I don't want to get sidetracked on talking about Atlantis. I just want to give you the outline pieces to tie so you can tie other stuff in together on that particular subject. Right? Come on, get out, get down, go in there. Hold on, bro. Yeah, okay, all right, I'm back. Oh, they still locked up. What you mean? I don't. What you referring to when you say, "Oh, they still locked up"? Obama was born June 6th. Yeah, so you got different species. You got these different demons. They were able to escape when they got to all parts of the emerald tablets. All right. So, but going back to Atlantis, when they sunk the power source, and we telepathically sent signals to the ship to take off and leave here. So the ship went to the last known address, which was in Pegasus, where we came from. It had already collected that data on the address to Pegasus, so it ended up going to Pegasus, and they sunk it underwater so the insects couldn't get to it, right? Because some of the insects decided to fight with Halo now, and these Dragon reptilians, right? The new species of them that was aggressive. Okay, so we end up leaving in Tahuti's ship from where we was parked at, and then we went over to ancient Kemet, and then began to set up another base there. And what we did is we had a whole bunch of books, and we made copies of some of these books and started printing them eventually in ancient Kemet. But we set up a library under the Sphinx where we stored all these books, the original copies, right? And we set up three different areas to hide these books, copies of them. So if they ever got to the one part, they had to destroy all 3 or 4 areas to destroy all the books, but they only found one area. And also that ship that we flew on was Tahuti's ship, and he hid it right under the Sphinx, about a mile down under the right paw. And your government has already went over there and used certain types of instruments to scan the ground, and they see something down there a mile. I believe they got to it already, but they just left it right there because they don't know how to move it. They can't move it. It's so big, they can't move it, right? They don't got no equipment right now. The government don't got no equipment to be able to move it because it's so big, right? They can't even move some of them rocks that we were moving over there with the stones. So we put his ship right there under the Sphinx, and it's so huge they can't even move it. But they did dig tunnels to it to try to study it. And it's great. That technology is so far advanced and way ahead of their game that they'll never really figure that technology out on that ship, and they won't be able to move it. And the only people that can activate it is the sons of Tahuti. And these beings are here right now. And Tahuti told them, because during that time, when we were setting up ancient Kemet, it was a school. So Tahuti really was the teacher at that school, at the first teacher at that school, the T's. And we was trying to educate the planet right? Educate the planet. And this before Ra came here. Right? Right? Ra is of the younger of the rays, the younger generation. The T's was already here. The T's was already coming here on the mothership Nublu, right? Because they was most of them was incarnates, right? Hey, Rob Bot to everybody that's in the building. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you're in the building. All right. So we began setting up and even mixing in with some of the humans to create hybrid children, right? And amongst us, it was Tahuti had told us. He said when he left a message. He said it's some beings that's coming from another galaxy or another star system, and when they get here, the beings who my sons, they're gonna be able to activate my ship to destroy these beings. And the beings that he was talking about was these reptilians, these Dragon reptilians, right? And he called them in the if you read the Emerald Tablets, the ones that they put out, right? They try to translate, right? So who he tell you in that translation, he tell you that these beings was walking amongst us, and they were he called them the dark beings, because they was always in the shade, in the shadow. They really were shade shifting reptilians who were coming here and looking like humans and passing themselves off as humans. But they was the brother of dark. He called them the brothers of darkness. That's what Tahuti called them. And so they was amongst us in ancient Kemet when we was first setting it up, and they were like secret agents sent by the Dragonians to try to keep us from evoluting the planet and evoluting humans as educating humans, because it was based on their survival. It's pretty much like we taking their food source, or we taking food out of their mouth. If they was eating these beings, now we come here and we teach these beings to be more intelligent and more advanced. Then now they can't eat you no more. So that's what it was about. That's why they came and just tried to destroy Atlantis. What they did destroy the power source. So that's what it was about while we was over here. But not only did Tahuti set up, the first spot we set up was ancient Kemet after Atlantis got destroyed. And then Tahuti traveled all around the world in other crafts that we designed, like the helicopters that Inky designed. Right, the helicopters, the submarines, and all that. He's traveled all around Earth, teaching and setting up schools everywhere he went. And one of the places he went was the British Isles. He went there. He came to America, or what you call in America today, right? He went to Antarctica at the time. Antarctica, because the planet was we were still in the sun cycle then. See, we just came out of the moon cycle, So we've been in the moon cycle for like the last 2,000 and some years. Now we're going into this the sun cycle. Or maybe broke down into a 6,000 year phase, breaking down to 24, right? So you got like 6,000 years of moon phase, and then you got when dealing with I'm thinking about the 2000 and some. I'm thinking about the age and the 12 different ages we got, like dealing with the different zodiacs. But when I'm thinking about this moon cycle, I'm thinking about 24,000 years total. So 2 moon cycles and 2 sun cycles at 6,000 years would be 24. So we was in the sun cycle then. And what we was trying to do is speed the vibration of the planet back up by teaching the beings that's here. But the reptilians always came in to stop us. And they attacked ancient Kemet back then. But Tahuti he was expedient about going around the world and educating all the people. And so we set up schools all over Earth. But like I say, that one of the oldest schools after Atlantis is in ancient Kemet. Where we started building pyramids there. Right? Those pyramids, you might not believe this, and people that study ancient Kemet, they might not believe this, but those pyramids, some of those pointy pyramids are older than Imhotep's pyramid. They were built by Tahuti. And then later on, Imhotep tried to replicate that, and he, over the time, they developed and came back to the point of building that same style pyramid under Sneferu. Sneferu built the perfect pyramid. I don't. A lot of those films, uh, that they tried to whitewash all the information, and they ain't really tell you nothing in those films. Now they did tell you something about when they gave you the Little Mermaid. You know what I'm saying, with the Nemos, about the Nomos being, and about Alelu and his daughter. So they did tell you a little bit in the Mermaid film. But Atlantis was a learning center. It was a data bank, a laboratory where we did study and research. That ended up getting attacked, to make a long story, attacked by the reptilians. A particular species is Dragonian reptilians. When we moved that, we flew on the ship to ancient Kemet. We set up the land there, started teaching the people, educating the people. The reptilians didn't like it, so they disguised themselves with hoods like they will now, and they shade shift and came amongst us and was moving around under the table. When every time we set up a priesthood, they had a priesthood to counteract it. They had a priesthood to counteract it. The brothers of Satuk, they always had a priesthood to counteract. And so a lot of these artifacts too, when you get up to the books, what happens is eventually Alexandra, I can't say the other word. I mean, he wasn't no damn great. So you know what I'm saying? Alexandra and them and Napoleon them on these different things, they came in. They was raiding Egypt, raiding our tombs, and they dug down and found one of the libraries under the Sphinx and took a lot of those books, the originals, and took them to the Vatican. That's why it's a whole bunch of books under the Vatican, and it's being guarded with 24-hour guards. Why they guarding this shit? Because they gonna when you go down there and find out, a lot of technology that can advance the planet is already written in a lot of those books that was out thousands of years ago. Right? So they end up coming in and getting those books that Tahuti put, that library that Tahuti put together. So you picture some of these books. Okay, this underground. These some of the books underground in that under the Vatican. Hey, shout out Sean Rogers for the donation, brother. Yeah, so these books under the Vatican, right? And these were the books that Tahuti put together to preserve the wisdom and different technology and different things about health and just everything you could think of wrote down in these books. Even technology on how to design an airplane or design a helicopter. See, this type of stuff, they can't let it get out because it goes against what they teaching, the reptilian doctrine. The reptilians is the one that sent these people in to steal these books and hide them under the Vatican. And because the reptilians is in on the religion, man. I'm trying to put all of it together for you. We here putting it together for you, man. And we got crazy fools who probably a robot or computer trying to come out of us. Talking about Iggy, then nigga, where you get your perspective from? Let me hear where you get your perspective from. And then somebody you want to come on? No, I'm not gonna let you get on so you can give me a strike, nigga. Talking shit. Man, you don't gotta believe me, just put it together. And you'll see that I'm telling the truth. You see that I'm bringing you the straight up deal, man. This is my job to do this for you. So these books got took under the Vatican, right? The books that came from Atlantis on the ship that we had we had 3-4 different libraries set up where we copied these books. And so they found, I think, 1 or 2 of the libraries, and the other copies of the books, they began burning them. They began burning these books to try to keep this knowledge from getting out. Right? And they took it to the Vatican. Boom. Got that part. Right? Put them under 24-hour guards. Niggas got Uzis and machine guns. And they top-notch agents guarding some. Why are they guarding this shit so hard like that? You know what I'm saying? Why they guarding that so hard like that, man, underground? What is the Vatican trying to hide from us? The knowledge of ancient technology on how to build a helicopter. They use some of it to build their weapons. That's why America's got the best technology because it's called the three states. Like that's what the brother Rod Haynes was talking about. Where you got the Vatican, you got France, and Washington D.C. That's all the same District of Columbia. That's all the same thing. And that's why so America got the helicopters and these different things because the Vatican's giving them the technology so they can protect the church and go out and do the church will. And they come in the name of Christianity, and they come in the name of giving you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? But they come in to steal your land under the Spanish Inquisition over the same time. It's all tied in, everything. Like Tahuti said, tie it all in together, man. Tie it all in together so you can get the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, man. And America share with those who are in the bed with them. So they'll sell you one of their helicopters, the ones that they stole from the books that the son of Enki put together, Tahuti, and about the different crafts that his father built. And he rebuilt some of those crafts too as well. That's why I told you, ancient Kemet, we were a type 2 civilization. They kind of trying to tell you, they're trying to give you the image and pictures. First they make everybody white, and then they trying to tell you that we some lollipop niggas in the desert. We wasn't no regular lollipop niggas in the desert, man. We was riding in yachts. The ancient Egyptians were balling out of control, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, niggas get buried with gold. You think that ain't balling out of control? Niggas get buried with $100 billion worth of gold. Nigga, what you talking about? The ancient Egyptians went balling. The people that's balling, the rich people of the world, they rich because of us. They follow us. They worship us. They know we the gods. They worship us. They rock our symbols, and they tell you that it's evil and it's bad, and that we idol worshipers, and they got all kind of names for us. They tell you all this bad shit about us, and then they rock our shit and got our gold. They can't really rock our gold because it don't even match their skin tone. It might match the Canaanites. You can see a Canaanite with it on, and because he really a Nubian, albino Nubian, right? But they've been doing this, man, and you know, we just wanted to bring that to you, the story of Atlantis. We might do a part 2 to this, go in a little bit more. But I got to get off for a while. I might come back and do the light beam tape since I talked about a little of that information at the beginning of the tape. I might come back and do that light beam tape tonight. But we just want to bring you in and give you like our perspective on the Atlantic information, right? The Atlantic information, the Atlantis. You know what I'm saying? And then like the brother Sunrise was saying, this connect to Atlanta, right? With the Mansa Musa set up. And it connects to the city of Atlantis, and I think it's in New Jersey, or Jersey Shore, or whatever, right? So, man, we just hope. To make a long story short, though, eventually Tahuti come back every time to check on us. You know what I'm saying? And one of those incarnations, we have reason to believe that it was our master teacher. He was one of the. That's why he spoke so many languages. That's why he knew so much. Like, how could one human being harness that amount of information? That's and he always was studying and reading newspapers and reading other books, and he was constantly getting more and more. So, you know what I'm saying? The type of being that's the type of being I am too, though. You know. So I think we pretty much covered what we want to talk about Atlantis, and gave you like just the basic guidelines and details on what was happening. But Tahuti talked about these beings that were going to be coming, and he said that at a certain time we'll be able to activate that ship to protect us. They got the laser beam to destroy them, and these beings were coming. They said that these beings were coming from the Orion area, which is Dragon. Dragon is part of the Orion district, because you got just like you got districts, or you got parishes down here. Like you got different parishes based on where you live at, right? So you got different parishes in the galaxy, and Dragon, the Dragon star system is in Orion Parish, right? It's it counts as one of the 19 galaxies. One of the 19 galaxies that are new is supposed to be the most high of the president. He really the president. And the Most High is really the ultimate creator of the universe. It's the all, the beginning. And I really can't say beginning because he has no beginning. And you can't say he or she. It's just really the all. It's including every single thing that exists and that don't exist. So that'd be like the real creator. And then a new is like a president. Just like your president, he's not the CEO. The president is not the CEO. He's just a guy that's overseeing what's happening for the all, or for the being who control the all, the creator. So we want to bring that to you, man. Get this tape in the archive. So we got more tapes coming out. Like I said, we're gonna be hitting you every single. I ain't playing when I say I'm gonna hit you every day. We're gonna hit you every day, and we got straight bangers. We dropping straight bangers for the next couple. We dropping straight bangers, bro, for the next couple years. The straight bangers, and we thank you for tuning in, man. We thank you for tuning in. So we pretty much just gave you an over synopsis, a pretty much simplified. We ain't had to go into we went into a little detail, but we pretty much simplified the Atlantis thing for you, so people can go out and start doing more research. And I should hear more tapes on Atlantis soon, with other people giving their perspective. So the dude, I forget his name now, that was coming in talking about Inky didn't create the who created him then? The white man created him? Come on, man. It's like crazy, man. So you think the US government created helicopters? Yeah, man. Get your, when I just showed you a picture that predate the beings that you say, the first people that created a flying machine were a group of Knights of Templar brothers called the Wright brothers, and they got that information from being able to access that library under the Vatican. That's how they was able to create their first type of little flying craft. They part of the Hellfire Council. They part of that order that trickled down from the Hellfire Council, and they got access to our information on how to design these crafts. It was already written by Tahuti. It was already written, put together, and built by Inky a long time ago. So you got to go back and check out all the other tapes that we put out, so you can tie all this in together, man. Okay, so we're about to get out of here, man. We might be back on about 9 o'clock, man, if we feel like it, to drop more shit on you, man. So Islam to my Moors. So Islam to my Moors. Peace and love. Now, if I said Enlil created the helicopters, I meant to say Inky, right? So make sure you got that down. So niggas go out, oh, he said Enlil, he said Inky. My brain is working so fast. My mind is working faster than my mouth can assimilate it down to the third dimension. But if you were able to talk to me telepathically, I could talk to you faster. You know what I'm saying? So Islam, Shalom, Lekum, Assalamu alaikum, Hotel, peace and love, Ashug, divine love throughout the boundless universe to all. Wadu.